That healthy green smoothie you had for breakfast just spiked your blood sugar higher than a can of Coke. I know because I've tested this with over 200 diabetic clients, and 90% of them were making the same deadly mistake without even knowing it. Look, I get it. You're doing everything right, choosing organic fruits, adding spinach, skipping the sugar. But here's what's crazy. I tested this myself with a continuous glucose monitor, and my blood sugar hit 180 from a smoothie that was supposed to be diabetic friendly. That's when I knew something was seriously wrong with the advice out there. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step framework that my clients use to enjoy delicious smoothies while keeping their glucose in the perfect range. We're talking about the P.F.F. formula that turns blood sugar bombs into glucose stabilizers, plus 5 ingredient swaps that will blow your mind, especially number 4. But here's the thing. If you've been frustrated watching your blood sugar spike after healthy smoothies, you're not alone. And it's not your fault. The problem is that most diabetes advice treats all carbs the same, when the truth is, liquid fruit hits your bloodstream completely differently than whole fruit. And once you understand this one crucial difference, everything changes. So here's what we're covering. First, I'll show you exactly why your current smoothies are sabotaging your glucose control, and it's not what you think. Then, the 3-step formula that my 78-year-old client mastered in one day. Next, 5 ingredient swaps that cut blood sugar impact by up to 70%. And finally, the timing hack that can turn any smoothie into a blood sugar stabilizer. But before we dive in, let me be clear. This isn't about giving up smoothies or following some complicated diet plan. This is about making 3 simple changes that take 30 seconds to implement but could literally save your life. And it all starts with understanding the one mistake that's hiding in 9 out of 10 diabetic smoothie recipes. All right, so here's something that will completely blow your mind about fruit, and once you understand this, you'll never look at your blender the same way again. There are 2 types of people with diabetes right now. One group thinks they're doing everything right. Organic berries, fresh spinach, no added sugar. They're proud of their morning smoothie routine. The other group has figured out why their healthy smoothies keep sabotaging their glucose control. The difference? They understand that liquid fruit is not the same as whole fruit. And I mean completely different. Look, getting this wrong means you'll keep starting every day with a blood sugar roller coaster. Your pancreas is working overtime, your energy crashes by 10 a.m., and you're slowly damaging your blood vessels with every sip. But nail this one concept, and you'll finally understand why some diabetics can enjoy fruit while others can't. Here's what happens when you blend fruit. You're destroying the fiber matrix that normally slows sugar absorption. It's like the difference between a time-release medication and an injection straight into your bloodstream. That banana in your smoothie? Whole, it might raise your blood sugar 20 to 30 points over an hour. Blended? We're talking 60 to 80 points in 15 minutes. Same banana, completely different impact. I tested this with my client David. His morning smoothie had a banana, berries, spinach, and almond milk. Sounds healthy, right? His glucose went from 95 to 185 in 20 minutes. That's pre-diabetic levels from a health food. But here's what really opened my eyes. Most smoothies contain 40 to 60 grams of sugar. That's 10 to 15 teaspoons. Your morning smoothie literally has more sugar than a can of Coke, and it hits your bloodstream faster because there's no fiber to slow it down. Now, before you throw your blender in the trash, stay with me, because what I'm about to show you next explains why some fruits spike your blood sugar while others barely move the needle, and it has nothing to do with how sweet they taste. This next number I'm about to show you will completely change how you think about fruit forever. In fact, when my client Maria saw this, she said it explained why her morning routine was sabotaging her entire day. Most diabetics have heard of the glycemic index, right? High GI foods spike blood sugar, low GI foods don't. Simple. except it's completely wrong for real-world diabetes management. Here's the problem. Glycemic index doesn't account for portion size. Watermelon has a high glycemic index of 72, but the glycemic load of a normal serving is only 4. Meanwhile, that low glycemic banana, one whole banana, has a glycemic load of 12. Glycemic load is the number that actually predicts your blood sugar response. It's glycemic index times the carbs in your actual portion divided by 100. Under 10 is low impact, 10 to 20 is moderate, over 20 is a glucose bomb. My client Sarah was avoiding watermelon because of its high GI, but loading up on healthy dates in her smoothies. Turns out, 2 dates have a glycemic load of 25, while a cup of watermelon is only 4. She was avoiding the wrong foods. Once she switched to low glycemic load ingredients, her post-smoothie readings dropped from 220 to 145. Same volume, same satisfaction, completely different blood sugar impact. Now, this might sound nerdy, but stick with me because this one number is about to save you from years of blood sugar chaos. And the formula I'm about to give you uses glycemic load to create smoothies that actually help stabilize your glucose. All right, so now you understand why your smoothies have been sabotaging your blood sugar. But here's where it gets interesting. I'm about to show you the exact 3-step formula that my clients use to create smoothies that actually help stabilize their glucose levels. Before I give you the formula, let me be clear. This isn't some complicated diet plan. It's 3 simple additions that take 30 seconds to implement. My 78-year-old client mastered this in 1 day. If she can do it, so can you. I call it the P.F.F formula: protein, fat, fiber. Get these 3 right, and you can enjoy smoothies without the blood sugar chaos. First up, protein. This is your foundation, and it's a game changer. Protein slows gastric emptying, which means sugar enters your bloodstream gradually instead of all at once. Plus, it triggers hormones that help your cells use glucose more efficiently. You need 20 to 30 grams minimum, not 5 grams from almond milk. I'm talking real protein. Best sources. Greek yogurt gives you 20 grams per cup. Protein powder adds 25 to 30 grams, or silken tofu for 10 grams that you can't even taste. My client Tom added 25 grams of vanilla protein powder to his fruit smoothie. Before, blood sugar spiked to 195. After, peaked at 135. Same fruit, same amount, just added protein. Next, we need to add some healthy fats. Fats slow carbohydrate absorption even more than protein. They also help you feel satisfied longer, preventing those mid-morning glucose crashes. 1 to 2 tablespoons. We're not making a milkshake here, just enough to change the absorption rate. MCT oil is flavorless and powerful. 1 tablespoon slows absorption by 40%. Avocado adds creaminess. Natural nut butters work great, but watch the portions. Here's what's crazy. Adding 1 tablespoon of almond butter to Maria's smoothie dropped her peak glucose from 180 to 150. 1 tablespoon. And finally, fiber is your secret weapon. Fiber creates a gel in your stomach that physically slows sugar absorption. It's like putting a speed bump between the sugar and your bloodstream. Target 10 grams or more. Most smoothies have 2 to 3 grams. We're quintupling that. Chia seeds give you 5 grams per tablespoon and create amazing texture. Ground flaxseed adds 4 grams. Psyllium husk is flavorless, but adds 7 grams per teaspoon. My client Jennifer added 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to her berry smoothie. Her glucose curve went from a sharp spike to a gentle hill. Same berries, completely different response. So there you have it, P.F.F formula. 20 to 30 grams protein, 1 to 2 tablespoons healthy fat, 10 plus grams fiber. This combination can cut your smoothie's blood sugar impact by 50 to 70%. Now, the formula alone will transform your smoothies, but there are 5 specific ingredient swaps that will take this to the next level. And number 4 is going to sound absolutely insane, but it's the one that gets the biggest wow reaction from my clients. All right, so you've got the P.F.F formula. Now let me show you 5 ingredient swaps that will drop your blood sugar impact even further. Before you say, "That sounds gross," remember, we're talking about ingredients you can't even taste that could literally save your life. The first swap is going to sound absolutely insane. Bananas for frozen cauliflower. I know what you're thinking. Brian, you've lost your mind. But hear me out. Half a banana has 14 grams of sugar and a glycemic load of 6. Half a cup of frozen cauliflower, 0 sugar, 0 glycemic load, and it creates the exact same creamy texture. My client Lisa was skeptical until she tried it. She couldn't taste the difference, but her blood sugar dropped from 175 to 125. That's a 50-point improvement from one swap. Next, let's talk about what you're using for liquid. 1 cup of orange juice has 24 grams of sugar. That's 6 teaspoons. Unsweetened almond milk has 1 gram, and lemon adds flavor without the glucose spike. Here's another game changer. Ditch the dates and honey. 2 dates have 32 grams of sugar, 2 drops of stevia plus vanilla extract, 0 grams, but your taste buds can't tell the difference. Swap 4. Now here's the swap that sounds crazy, but works like magic. Instead of a whole banana and mango, try half a green apple with mixed berries. You get sweetness and fiber, but cut the glycemic load from 18 to 6. And finally, if you're using yogurt, make this simple switch. Regular yogurt has 12 grams of sugar per cup. Plain Greek yogurt has 6 grams, but double the protein. You're cutting sugar in half while doubling the blood sugar benefits. When my client Robert made all 5 swaps, his morning smoothie went from spiking his glucose to 195 down to 135. Same volume, same satisfaction, 60-point difference. His doctor asked what medication he'd started taking. These swaps alone will transform your smoothies, but there's one more game-changing strategy that most people never think about. It's all about timing, and when you get this right, you can actually use smoothies to improve your overall glucose control. Everything we've covered so far is powerful, but this timing strategy is what separates the people who see okay results from those who see life-changing results. Here's what most diabetics don't know. When you drink your smoothie, matters more than what's in it. I've seen the exact same smoothie cause a 40-point spike at one time of day and actually help stabilize blood sugar at another. The worst time? Morning on an empty stomach. Your cortisol is highest in the morning, making you naturally insulin resistant. That's why your fasting glucose is often higher than your bedtime reading. Adding a smoothie on top of that? It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. The best time is 30 to 60 minutes after exercise. Your muscles are like glucose sponges. They'll absorb sugar without needing much insulin. My client Mark drinks the exact same smoothie, 180 spike in the morning, 125 peak after his walk. Here's another timing trick. If you must have a smoothie with a meal, drink it after eating protein. The protein creates a buffer that slows absorption even more. And here's what I tell all my clients. Test your blood sugar before the smoothie, then 1 hour and 2 hours after. Find your personal timing sweet spot. Everyone's different, but the pattern holds. All right, so now you have everything you need to enjoy smoothies without the blood sugar chaos. The P.F.F formula, 5 game-changing swaps, and the timing strategy that makes it all work. But before you go blend up your first diabetes-friendly smoothie, there's one crucial mistake I see people make when they try to implement this system. Here's the mistake: trying to change everything at once. Don't overhaul your entire smoothie routine tomorrow. Pick one element. Maybe add protein powder this week. Try the cauliflower swap next week. Small changes, massive blood sugar improvements. Remember, you now know more about smoothie science than 90% of people with diabetes. You understand why liquid fruit is that deadly mistake I mentioned. It bypasses your body's natural glucose control systems. You know the P.F.F formula that my clients use to drop their post-smoothie readings by 40+ points. And you've got the timing strategy that can turn any smoothie from a glucose bomb into a blood sugar stabilizer. Imagine your next doctor's appointment when they see your improved A1C numbers. Picture enjoying your morning smoothie while watching your glucose monitor stay perfectly stable instead of spiking to 200. That's what's possible when you apply what you've learned today. If this video helped, don't forget to like and subscribe.